Hi, spiritual family. We're going to go ahead and do another pick a card reading tonight. Now, this one is a little bit different than I'm going to do. I did a post in the group. Oh, I got Christmas nails on, guys. Hey. I did a post in the group a few days ago just asking the group, are you excited about Thanksgiving? You know, just a simple post. And some people, you know, happy to be with family, this, that, see grandkids, whatever. But I had a lot of people say no. And there was lots of reasons. Maybe their family is toxic, or maybe it's a situation where someone had passed, you know, a mother, a loved one, a husband, a wife, various things. So some people are not happy for the holidays. So I thought about that tonight, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a reading for those people. So if you are one of those people who is dealing with the holidays right now and you're not happy about it, and you're like, I wish I could do something else. I wish I didn't have to deal with this. You know, that kind of energy, this reading is for you. So we're going to do pick a cards. I've got Oracle, I've got Tarot. I'm using the Good Tarot tonight. I have never used the deck before. It's been sitting. Seriously, I have a lot of decks. I wish I should aim it over there at my shelf so you can see how many decks I have. It's ridiculous. But I have not used this deck. When I first got it, I was like, it's a little soft for me. I'm a Thoth reader. You know, I like, not that that's all I read, but I do grab Thoth a lot. But I felt a softer tarot deck would be good. I mean, tarot is tarot. Do not get me wrong. Tarot is tarot. It's going to read the way it does. But each one has a personality and a certain energy. And I wasn't sure if it would like my personality with it. It didn't seem to reject me. But I was just like, it's just not time to use it. And I put it up for a while. But I thought I was very called to use the Good Tarot tonight. Because, you know, I do get the impression it's a little bit softer, a little bit gentler. It is a vibing high kind of tarot deck. It is good and everything. It's called the Good Tarot, so it better be good, right? It's called the Good Tarot. So we're going to use that tonight. And I've got Ganesha's burning the incense. We got the candle going on, a nice Christmas candle even. I've got the nails going on, and we're going to do it. So we've got, I want you to focus intent on either 1, 2, or 3. And I'm going to do a little sound healing for you again. Okay, perfect. So set your intentions to receive message from however you want to define spirit, the spirit guides, even your loved ones, whatever it may be. I will put timestamps in the video again. The great thing about it, I just learned, I didn't even know. I just put the timestamp so you guys would know where to go. But apparently if you click the timestamp, it fast forwards the video. Isn't that cool? YouTube is way ahead of the game here. So if just look at the comments, card 1, 2, 3. When you see the timestamp, click it. It'll go right to your card. So if you're number 2 or 3, there you go. You'll be all set. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see, if you enjoy this reading, if it resonates with you. If something doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Take with what you will. Reject whatever you must. That is okay. This is up to you. But if you want to claim this, how collective reads usually work is if you claim them. If you've been on TikTok and seen reading videos like this, they will say, I claim. So if you want to claim your reading, absolutely, it's yours. So let's go ahead and focus on 1. I'm going to put 2 and 3 to the side. And I want it to be a good positive read, but we may deal with some touchy parts of it. Oh, there you go. Exactly. Just, I knew it was going to be this kind of read because I know how my cards are. Battle of the Blues. Okay? Take steps toward positive change. So already, you know, I know some of you are having a hard time. Battle of the Blues. There it is right there. But I've got the card Angel of Miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. So if you've been dealing with some family members, you're just like, oh God, I got to deal with these people and everything like that. I'm nervous about it and everything. Maybe a miracle will come in, but I do see the Battle of the Blues. And isn't that crazy? Before the very first card that I pull and look at the intent that I had. See, that's why tarot and oracle cards are so powerful, the messages. Spirit knows what card to draw for you. So let's look at Soul's Journey. We've got the card Balance. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So what are the things about that, is say if you're dealing with some toxic fam, okay, is we got to have our balance and so forth. I know it's not easy, guys. And then this is a hard one. See, I told you guys, when I read, my stuff is very direct. Some of you are going to be alone for the holidays. So if you find yourself, you pick number 1 and you are alone. I have loneliness. But notice it says, I know that I'm never alone. Even when we're by ourselves, and this is what Spirit is emphasizing, Spirit is right there. And even if your loved ones are in spirit, okay, they are right there. It's important to know that. It's important to remember that and realize that. Now, if you are one of my spiritualists and everything, even then, even when you believe in all this, when it comes to your own situation, it can be hard sometimes. You can doubt. You could have some doubts. Do not doubt this, though. Okay, do not doubt this. So I understand some are battling the blues and some are lonely and stuff, and I feel for you. Now, one of the things with the group, I know that, and if you guys are only on YouTube and if you're on Facebook, my group is called Spiritually Intuitive Readings, 28,000 members. We've been around for 5 years. But if you're having a hard time, you could come in the group. I'm going to keep an eye on my phone in between cooking. I will pop in case anybody is having a hard time. I'm always here for you, okay? So we've got our spirit guide message. And here you go. For those, especially who are missing loved ones during this time. Hello from heaven. Your loved ones in the spirit world want to connect with you as much as you want to connect to them. They know you've been thinking of them, and they're sending you signs and symbols to show how much they love you, to prove they're with you at this time. See, it's all right there in the cards. It's just like, I know that I am never alone. What does it say? Even though we can feel lonely, even though we deep down, we're not alone. We're not alone. I know we don't see them and we want to hear them and everything like that, but they're right there. I want you to realize that. That's one thing I've learned as a spiritualist. There really is no such thing as death. They just go to another, if you want to say dimension, that is okay. Let's just put it that way. They go through a door, another dimension, but they could cross back over. They could peek in on us and stuff, okay? So the next spirit guide message, nature, and that might be a good idea to get out in nature. Take a walk outside, on Thanksgiving and just kind of connect to spirit that way. Except this is a time to absorb the healing properties that nature has to offer. Your mind, body, and soul need nourishment, energy, revitalization, and strength. Nature has much to offer, so take this time to connect and spend some quality time outdoors. So if you have the ability to be able to spend some time outdoors and just kind of get, just breathe in the air. It might be a little chilly. You might need to put on a jacket, but get out in nature and just kind of enjoy it. But don't forget the angel of miracles. Expect a miracle. I feel this holiday season, it might be a sign, a hello from heaven. Okay? Notice I do have the hello from heaven card. So you might get a sign from heaven that is going to be like, oh, wow. There's no way. It has to be them. It has to be them. Or even if you ask in the group for a free medium read, you're more than welcome to do that. We can see if we can connect with your loved one. So let's see your tarot cards. We have the Nine of Earth, which is the Nine of Pentacles. The King of Air, which is the King of Swords. The Queen of Water. Okay. We've got the Ten of Earth. And we've got the Nine of Air. Okay. So let's just go to the tough one. which is the Nine of Air. So the Nine of Air is the Knight of Swords, which can be dealing with some kind of depression and sadness. And so, see how these are very soft? That's why I was like, it's a certain time to pull these out. This is just the way this deck is. But they're beautiful. This is a beautiful deck. Do not get me wrong. But one of the things is we could deal with a lot of sadness and depression during this time. But one of the things with the Ten of Earth here, we have this, just there, you have an abundant life. It is there. And so one of the things I want you to do, even though it is a challenge during this time of year, I know it's a challenge. I know it's hard. But look and see what you're grateful for. This is a good time to start that gratitude journal, because think about it. It's Thanksgiving. What are we thankful for? Okay. So Thanksgiving is a good time, setting aside what the Native Americans and all that, the sad part. Okay. But it can be a family oriented thing. But also this is a time to have gratitude. And so one of the things is maybe getting that gratitude journal is good. And then just write whatever you're grateful for. If you do have, your kids are doing good, grandkids are doing good. If you got food in the fridge, if your job is okay, you're making it, you've been there for a while, it's steady, you're healthy. Don't forget to be grateful for health. Health is really important. If you're healthy, especially like that. But just kind of write, this is a time of Thanksgiving. It's real easy to focus on. I know the loneliness and the battle of the blues. I feel you, hun. But at the same time, look at what can I be grateful for, because it's going to change your perception. It's going to kind of shift it. And then I have some of you, I feel this speaks to both the males and the females. We've got the Queen of Water, my empath, my psychics, my spiritual women, and then I've also got the King of Air and stuff. And the King of Air is just very brilliant and intuitive. So I've got a lot of my spiritualists, males and females, are both kind of battling this right now. They're both having a hard time, with this, some kind of loneliness. And I feel like for a good amount of you, with people on the other side especially, or maybe some of you had a breakup this year, maybe you're in the middle of a divorce. Remember, this is a collective read, so we could go at a few different angles for your read here. But there it is, also the Nine of Earth. We have this card as well and stuff. And that is the woman, she attracts abundance and so forth and everything. And notice, this is a beautiful image here. But just to be grateful for what we have and everything. She is normally solo, the Nine of Earth woman, and she can apply for the king or the queen here. That kind of energy. She is normally single and by herself. But she gets comfortable in her own skin. She is alone. But she's normally single. She's not in a relationship always. So some of you, a good amount of you, might not be in a relationship that are getting this read. You may have had your partner may have passed, or just had a breakup and things like that. But one of the things about it, she has that self-love, that self-confidence, that sense of self-worth. She's growing spiritually. She's evolving, and you can evolve past your pain. You can do it. But never let someone push you. I'm a huge thing, and I've written reams on this in the group before, because anytime I've seen a reader try to push someone past grieving and say, let go. Okay, I know you guys can see my hands, so I'm a very hand-oriented talker. When it comes to grieving, I never tell anyone to let go. Even if it's a breakup of a relationship or it is a death, I never tell anyone let go and stuff. I just, if they're hurting and they're suffering, it's almost cruel to say that. Let people grieve, let people cry, let people be sad. That all of that, tears are healing. That's the process of healing when the tears flow. I worry much more if the tears don't than when I see them flow, because I know the person is healing if the tears are flowing. Okay? So never let anybody tell you to let go. You let go in your own due time. You release whatever, and if you never do, that's totally fine. Obviously, like for example, someone who loses a child, you don't have to let go. You don't have to do that. And I'm going to get teary-eyed talking about this. You don't have to let go. And no one should ever tell you, you need to do this. You need to feel this way. You need to push yourself. You do it. You do you. You do it your way. Absolutely. You do it your way. And and because I know it can be an accomplishment just to get out of bed and go take a shower and do your hair and maybe put some makeup on. And you should be proud of those days you could do that. But if you leave the dishes in the sink and you curl up or you call in sick to work and you just, sit on the couch and stare at the wall, you do you. That is your business. But this is, a lot of good messages coming out of that. This is a time also, don't forget to be thankful. Kind of look at, like for instance, if someone did pass, you had time with that person. You were able to know them and love them. Be grateful for the time you had. That's one big thing. What if you never knew him at all? What if you never knew him at all? What if you never knew your mother? What if you never knew your father? The boyfriend, the husband, the wife, whatever it may be. What if they had never crossed your path at all? So always be grateful. Be grateful for those experiences. When you shift perception, you can see things in a different light. I do hope this helps. And that's a very intense one. I told you this is for you guys. This is for you guys. Very intense readings, but I know these things need to be said. That's why I like to give messages of spirit. So now we're going to go to number 2. And we focus on this stone here. I'm going to set these to the side. And let's hope for good healing messages. I really want to get you guys, that's what, I'm a reader, but I try to be a healer. I try to give good guidance and advice to you. So let's see what we get. So I've got the card Potential. Think big for your future. Originality. Blaze your own trail. So this is definitely something, I look at potential and originality, and I feel this is really the time, for you on the path to just be yourself and know you have potential. Now, as I'm dealing with people that are healing or dealing with family, and there has been challenges, I look at the originality, blaze your own trail, that be yourself kind of message here, okay? Don't be afraid to be yourself. If you're the black sheep of the family, you show up as you to the family dinner, okay? You show up as you. You be yourself, okay? Do not worry about if they're like, oh, you're into that spirituality. Oh, you need to go to church and get God. Just be polite about it. Just remember, people are plugged into the program, even your family. Okay, so it can be really hard. Let's go ahead and see what else we got. Okay, this is a top deck. This is James Van Praagh, Journey of Souls. Soul's Journey. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So some of you that pulled number 2 are having kind of regret over certain circumstances. But I do have the card Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So what are the things we got to do here? Looking at all this, we got to be ourselves. I look at the regret card and I feel like one of the things that happened in the past was not being yourself, not realizing your potential. And I feel you made some moves to satisfy maybe family, to satisfy partners, to make others happy, but you wanted to do something different. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, it's never too late. If you have a dream, if you want to do something that everybody thinks is crazy, ridiculous, you do it, okay? You do it, and you do it now. Don't postpone it anymore. We don't need to regret. We can't go back in time and change certain things, but we can start it now. So if there's something you've been sitting on and you've been like, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that, and everything. Another thing too, I'm kind of looking at, Spirit just whispered in my ear, you're talking about dreams, but I want you to talk about fam. Spirit just whispered in my ear, what about people who wish they would have said certain things to loved ones before they passed on? And then I'm like, you're right, Spirit, that's another regret. So that's another message that Spirit has kind of given me. If there's things that you wish you would have said before someone passed, I don't want you to think that it's too late to say anything to them, because they can hear you. Okay? They can hear you. You can even just think to them and give them a message from your mind, because they can read your mind. If you want them to. Now, if you don't want to read your mind, okay, it's okay. You don't worry about that. Okay? But if you do, if you want to give a thought, like say you're kind of starting to fall asleep in bed at night and you just want to kind of talk to them in your mind, you can do that. So if there is anything you regret, I wish I would have said this, I wish I would have said that, it is not too late to do that. It is not too late. It is never too late to be able to communicate that you love them, that you miss them, anything like that. Now, if there were any choices and decisions that were made upon their time of passing, like maybe there was taking them off life support, for example, or, I wasn't there the day they died because I was out of town and I was going to fly there, but I postponed it. I thought I had more time. Let that go. Release that burden. Don't let it. Now, I know I just said let go, but I'm talking about the regret. I'm not saying the loved one. Big difference, okay? But release that burden, okay? You didn't know, okay? But there is another thing, too, that you need to understand when it comes to things like that. Sometimes it's meant to be that you're not there. I'll give an example. When my mother was dying in the hospital, she was almost there and everything, but I was sitting in the room in the hospital. It was with my sister and my aunt. I'm in the hospital and she was hanging on. She was hanging on. And I could feel it. I could feel it in her soul. And something told me she does not want to pass with me in the room. Something told me that. It was very profound and very strong. Okay? So I stood up and I said, she will not pass with me in the room. I'm going to go home. And my was going to be fiance and my nephew were at home. He was with him. And so I went home, and within about 45 minutes, they gave me the call she passed. So there are times you're not meant to be there. Okay? There could be a reason maybe they don't want to do it in front of you. Okay? Maybe they just can't handle that. Maybe it keeps them hanging on. For whatever reason, you need to understand. Sometimes releasing the spirit that you're not meant to be there. Okay? So if there is a situation, anyone I'm reading for who was in a position where they were not there and they regret that, release that burden. We need to release that burden off of you because maybe it was not meant to be. Okay? And then we have the card Serenity, and I want a big long one for that, but you need to hear that. The most important relationship you can have is with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotion that are left over from yesterday. And notice it says, don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. So if there's any kind of resentments, especially with the family members and things like that, if we're holding on to something, okay, this is a good time. We want to release that. So, family is family. Just don't forget they're part of the program. So many of them, they're spiritually evolved family members. Okay, that's what my daughter has me and things like that. But not everybody is, and we all have our own cross to bear. We all have our issues. We're not perfect. We're going to rub our kids the wrong way and things like that. It's going to happen. But one of the things is definitely if you're holding on to anything and it's robbing you of your peace, we need to release that. And then I've also got the card Reach Out. We know you're reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help when offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that it's truly okay to accept support however it's presented to you. So you can reach out to the guides or the loved ones at any time for a current situation. They're always there. They will give signs, synchronicities, and so forth. So now we're going to go ahead and read the tarot from the Good Tarot, as I've talked about this. We're getting some queens popping up in here. Here we go. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so we've got the Page of Air. So communication, especially with family members and things like that, or even those that have crossed over. I feel some of you, especially if someone has crossed over, that you may get some sign or communication or possibly have a dream from a loved one. But also to go to the other side, those that are in living, you know, just be careful with communication with family members if we're dealing with any kind of toxic. I've got the Queen of Earth energy in here, very practical, natural. And out of all the queens, and I'm not just saying this because I'm Capricorn, okay? But out of all the queens, originality, she has no problem being herself, okay? She's not as showy as Leo, okay? She's not as showy as Leo. I love you, Leo, don't get me wrong. But Queen of Earth, she doesn't mind going to the store with no makeup on, okay? You know, she's just very relaxed, very natural, just like this beautiful woman here. Just very relaxed, very natural. She has no problem being herself. So I look at that message, especially even with the family members and everything like that, completely be yourself. Now, some of you may just, I've got the Hermit here, okay? Some of you may end up just avoiding family altogether. If that is the only way to keep your serenity for now, if you need to do that, you need to do that, okay? If your family is super toxic, okay, don't feel obligated that you've got to please anybody, okay? If you want to be alone for the holiday and you're just, you know what, I'll just make a little chicken and stuffing and a little tiny dinner and some gravy casserole, and I'm just going to watch Netflix by myself. If that's what you want to do, you do that. Do not feel obligated if your family is toxic that you got to be around them. If they always get in a big freaking fight, okay, at the family dinner, you don't have to be there. You are not obligated to go, because that could put you in the trap with the Eight of Air and just that mental trap, and they get you kind of stuck and everything and try to pigeonhole you and tell you who you should be and so forth. And just that mental torture with the Eight of Air, we don't need that and so forth. We need to rise above it, just like this angel is rising above all that. But the Ace of Water, this is still a good card. We can love our family members. Sometimes you might have to do it afar. You might have to do it afar with the toxic ones. But with the loved ones in spirit that I was talking about, everything, just remember that cup overfloweth. That love is always there. Don't forget to love people, even the toxic family. We, of course, love the loved ones that have passed on and everything. But with the Ace of Water, just allow yourself to feel that love and that healing energy. And that is presenting itself to you. So very good read. Some tough energies there, but very good read. Not that I'm commending myself. I'm talking about the message for you from the spirit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I'm a good read. You know, I hope this speaks to you. I definitely want you to get to a healing place. Now we're going to do number 3. So let's see what we get. Well, you got the Unicorn, invite, serendipity. So that's kind of like serendipity, those magical coincidences that are just not a coincidence and things like that. Okay, so the magic. I want your holiday to be magical. Now, you've also got the card Opportunity Knocks. Go for it. And so this is an opportunity here for you, especially to get maybe in some healing. Maybe with this family, if there is anybody on the outs and so forth, we can make amends. Okay, so let's kind of look. What cards do we have here? Now, I do have the card Honesty. Let's read that one. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. If you're dealing with some challenging family members, okay, we want to be honest, but we want to have tact. Okay, so certain things may pop up, an opportunity, okay? An opportunity may pop up when we go to the holidays to maybe talk about some deeper issues that have been, surfacing for a while is kind of what I feel. But be honest, I know we don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I feel for some of you, pick number 3, that there's some things you need to say, that there is something you need to get off your chest. But just warning, do it with tact. It is the holidays. I also have the card Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So we've got that. Imagine yourself healing. Imagine, and also with that, because imagination is really the beginning of manifestation. Imagination is the beginning of intent. You got to see it first before you can manifest it. So one of the things, if you're like, oh my God, I hope this family time with the Thanksgiving members and everything goes well, I'll try to see it going good and healing and stuff. Kind of see it, it's going to go good. I'm going to just manifest that my family gets along, that my mother doesn't get on my case, you know, why I haven't had a kid yet, you know, or why I dropped out of college, you know, just whatever it may be. I've tried to manifest it, but remember, manifestation, everything begins with the imagination first, and the imagination becomes real. So then your spirit guide messages. This is crazy. Okay, not only do we have serendipity, which is a very similar meaning, we've got the card synchronicity. So, and they're very similar. Those meaningful coincidences, those weird moments. I mean, with an energy like this, having this serendipity and synchronicity, you know, both in here, definitely you're going to be getting hit with some signs. Some meaningful coincidences are going to take place over the next few days with the holiday and everything like that. You may get signs from loved ones during this time, but some weird things. Keep an eye on the clock. I feel you're going to see some numbers. You may see some posts on Facebook that really speak to you, things like that. They're all kind of meaningful coincidences are going to happen. Let me read the card. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So you may run into someone significant. They may be even someone that pops up from your past. And it's real weird how they found you or you found them. And then something significant happens. And there you go. We talked about this in one of them. Gratitude. I know Spirit is huge on this, guys. Spirit loves to hear thank you. It just makes them feel good about themselves. I mean, really. And so let's read this one. Life is one big continuous circle of giving and receiving energy. Be thankful for who and what's in your life instead of complaining about what you don't have. If you focus on gratitude, you'll start to attract prosperity and abundance. And that is something I teach people when I do my client reads. I make videos to read people. I do video chat too. If you ever want a reading, hit me up. In my about is my info. But I do talk a lot about gratitude to people and manifestation. It's a big thing because I want people to know they have the personal power. They have the ability to make changes in their life. It's all in their hands. But gratitude is one of the keys. They're saying thank you, being grateful, and showing appreciation in some way is very important. Now let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards. We've got the 8 of Fire, the 5 of Earth. That's a challenging one. The 7 of Air. Okay, we've got some challenging tarot cards. The High Priestess. Okay. And the 5 of Fire. Okay, so this is a challenging family situation. We've got some opportunity knocks, of course, to maybe be honest about some situations here. We may even meet up by chance with some signs to help guide you along the way. Some of you with your family members, you may have felt betrayed at a certain point with a family member. And also you may feel out in the cold with the 5 of Earth, which is kind of that to be out in the cold and everybody's having a good time. So some of you might not even be going home. For example, some of you I'm reading for, like, I wasn't even invited to have Thanksgiving dinner with this or that person and stuff. I was actually getting, some of you might even have a boyfriend or husband, like an in-law family. I was getting, some of you may have an in-law family that they don't want you there. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit, that's to be put out in the cold. And then to feel betrayed with the Seven of Air kind of energy. Now, I also do have the High Priestess, which is a great intuition card. But the High Priestess can also be about secrets. Okay, being secretive and secrets. Families have secrets. That's what they have. Okay, I look at this next to the Seven of Swords. Some family, there has been a betrayal maybe in your family that I'm reading for. And then they're being real secret and private about it. And I know the connotations of that can have all kind of meaning. But that can happen and everything. And then also with that, we can feel like, we're just kind of shut out. Some of you feeling shut out in a situation. But we do have, one of the things, the Five of Fire can be a conflict card. It can be a competition card as well. So some of you may be in competition with siblings, things like that. There could be a little bit of that or someone in the family. But we want to avoid conflict. So if it happens, we want to be careful. It's like we want to be honest and maybe have a good discussion when the opportunity arises. But I also get the message from Spirit just speaking in my ear. Don't force it, though. Don't force it. If they shut you down because they want to keep family secrets, don't force or you're going to have conflict. Okay, we got to be careful with that. But I know some of you spiritualists, many of us spiritualists are the black sheep in the family. That's what we are. We're the black sheep. I am definitely a black sheep in the family. And I'm proud of it too. I don't mind being the black sheep. Okay. So, but I don't feel necessarily out in the cold. I feel like I'm out in the warmth. I feel free. I feel free. It's like, no, I'm totally good with this position. I am enjoying myself. And then Eight of Fire. Now we've got this nice panda energy. It's a very swift, fast moving card. I look at that ending with conflict. Things can happen very fast. Things can be blurted out. Things can be speedy and all of that. So just kind of slow down and really kind of think about things before we take action and stuff like that. And so there could be opportunity. Let's go ahead and go back over it. There could be opportunity to be honest about some things, possibly about a betrayal or feeling out in the cold. But the family may resort to secrets and everything. If we push the issue too hard, like if they say, nope, but if we push the issue too hard, it could lead to conflict. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And it can happen very fast with that Eight of Fire energy. And so we want to be kind of careful with that. But some of you might, with that Five of Earth energy, if you're really feeling black sheep, you might not be let in. A few of you might not even be able to have the family dinner because you might not be invited. And you're going to feel like, and I know that's a hard place to be. I would actually like to pull a clarifier for that one, which I know it wasn't in the deck, but I'm going to pull one anyway for that. Just like a message what Spirit would like to say. Let's take that bottom card. And that is the Fool card. So I look at that card, and isn't that amazing? I just pulled the Fool. And that's pretty amazing because that's the very first card. So I just look at that, just trust the Spirit. Trust the Spirit. And just remember, it's all about the journey. It's all about the journey, that this is part of the journey. We're with family people, say you're not being accepted and so forth. If you're in a position like that with that Five of Earth energy, for some of you who picked the card, just remember, sometimes there is your fam and then there is your soul tribe. Okay. But we still got to kind of deal with them on the holidays sometimes, or maybe we can't deal with them because there's something going on. But just remember, there is your family, there's your soul tribe. Now, your family can be your soul tribe. They can be that. I would hope my little ones are my soul tribe. But at the same time, just remember that, try not to feel that there's something wrong with you. Don't let anybody, if they're kind of putting that energy on you and stuff, try to let that go. But I do like the fact, the synchronicity, the serendipity, some signs, some interesting things, and that imagination to manifest and stuff is popping up in here. And then I do have the gratitude, though. Still be grateful for what we have. And if you pass through dinner, in the holidays and even Christmas, I'm going to do Christmas reads too. But if you pass through and you avoid that conflict, woo! Okay, good. That's really good. But very good read on that. And let me know in the comments if your read resonated. Please do. Please give me a like if you liked what you saw. I am going to work on to do more pick-a-cards because I know they're very popular. And I know that's what you guys want. But don't worry, I'll still be doing current events, missing person, all that good stuff for those who follow me for that. Some sound healing. And that concludes this pick-a-card reading.